Now, we often talk about problems in Indigenous communities and problems with incarceration and getting people into work. Well, Steve Fordham is an Indigenous bloke who runs a successful mining and construction business in the Hunter Valley, and he's found a way to help his mob, as he calls them. He helps them help themselves. Steve Fordham, thanks for joining us. A Second Chance for Change sounds like a fantastic initiative. You actually get Indigenous people when they're in jail and start rebuilding their lives through work. How does it operate?
Yeah, look, we've been running the program for the last couple of years. So essentially, it's a works release program. So the guys get to come out during the day, work on a mine site, get the opportunity for employment. But the intent is when they, while they work for us, to get to save up a bit of cash and get sort of that life sort of skill sort of starting. To me, a lot of people sort of look at prison as a punishment, but to me, it's all about rehabilitation, getting guys on the right track, sort of saying, instead of you being a problem, how do we create the solution and how do we actually close the gap?
So they actually earn a wage while they're still serving a sentence and they're on day release. That's good. How many of them end up staying on with that job after they've served their sentence?
Look, we've had a fair few. A lot of guys sort of go back to sort of where they come from. So they could go back to Sydney or they could go back to Tamworth, Gunnedah. But essentially what we do is we give them those tools. So when they go and look for future employment, instead of going in and going, well, what have you done for the last couple of years? They can say, I've been working for this company for the last couple of years. I've got a job opportunity. I've got a way to progress and I've got a way to go forward.
Yeah, it's a fantastic initiative. Now, this is for Indigenous prisoners, and you're an Indigenous man yourself. Do you get benefit out of this? Do you get good work and a reliable workforce? I suppose they turn up because they turn up on day release.
Look, they do. And look, I think overall I've actually got a fantastic workforce. This is not a tokenistic gesture at all. It's not something that we just turn around and do for a niche. It's actually something we believe in. And the guys are actually fantastic. They go above and beyond every day. And I couldn't speak any higher of them. We've had some really amazing candidates come through for the last couple of years. And we think we will continue that pattern on for the next couple of years as well.
Yeah, look, it just seems like such a win-win scheme. You're operating there in the Hunter. Tell us about the scheme more broadly. Could it go further afield? How many people have benefited and how many people do you think could in the long run?
So look, to date we've taken over 60 candidates on. My long-term goal over the next 3 years is 150. We really think we've got the opportunity to ways to help people progress and get on the right track and actually have that sort of thing. But instead of being a burden on the state, they're actually become part of that economy that pays taxes, gets that ability to get an opportunity for progression. And not only that, it's a flow-on effect. Because I grew up seeing my dad put on his orange work shirt. I grew up seeing my mum going to work every day. That's what we need to do, is show that next sort of generation that prison is not the necessity of life and where you're going to end up. You can actually do some great things. You just need the opportunity, progression and a chance. And that's why we call it Second Chance for Change. Steve,
who came up with the idea? How did it all start?
Look, to be honest, it actually came in a multitude. We actually employed a candidate. He was out of jail for around 6 months and a really amazing guy, but a lot of barriers, a lot of issues to get into employment. We employed this guy and it was about a month later. I seen this guy walking down on a Sunday, orange work shirt, blue jeans, work boots and glove clip hanging on the side. And I pulled up on a Sunday and I said, why are you wearing your work uniform on a Sunday? And he went quiet and he said, when I put a uniform on, and he said, I go into a shop, I don't get followed around anymore. Old people don't hold their handbags. He said, I've actually got a purpose in life. He said, I've got something I've never had and I've had a chance. And at that one point I thought, this is the way we can help a community, this is the way we can help a mob, and this is what we're going to do. So we literally stepped out and we created the program, and essentially we start employing candidates while they're in, and over the time it's grown into more, but it's our fabric, it's who we are now. It's everyone in our workforce, because it's not just completely guys incarcerated. We've got a lot of other people that work for our organisation, and everyone's adopted it, but the site's adopted it, the community adopted it, but our mining industry has adopted it, and that's the way of life. We know a couple of years ago in the 80s when they brought in safety was the biggest thing. No one thought it was going to exist. It does. We know when environmental is the big thing, it became a massive thing. Our mining services have gone above and beyond. Social licence to operate is where the key is and the next bit that's going to come forward. And we want to be innovation with that. We want to work with massive mining entities to help with those progressional ways. And we've got some amazing mining companies in the area that go above and beyond every day because they believe in not what we're doing, but they believe in the process and they believe in actually creating a real future.
Steve Fordham, your company is BlackRock Industries. You work in mining, as you say, and construction. Just a fantastic initiative. Thanks for sharing it with us.
Thank you very much.
How good is that bloke? How good is that scheme? Great stuff.